All right. So we're going to avoid upsetting people this Christmas by giving them a copy of MK1. If you want to purchase Mortal Kombat 1 for your significant other, loved one, child, or friend, it is your free will, God-given free will to do it. However, I'm going to offer you alternatives. Alright, now if you're on PC, on Steam, and I'm sure a lot of these other games are available on whatever said platform that you're on, but at the very least on PC, when you have a fighting game and you play online, you don't have to pay for PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live when you do it. This currently sitting at 189 in my fighting games category on Steam is all the fighting games thus far I have put into this category. I'm sure there's other ones that I have not added yet. And I wanted to showcase some of these to you so that way, you know, if you're feeling disenfranchised with whatever big fighting game is currently out right now, then you have these choices. Now keep in mind there are two types of fighting game people out there. There are people that only play and care for the big ones like the Tekkens, the Mortal Kombats, the Street Fighters, and then you get the other people like me who love the fighting game genre regardless. I don't care if the fighting game that comes out is, you know, not top tier, it's a bit dinky in its combat. I just love seeing all new fighting games come out, and I love seeing the characters, I love seeing the stages, I love seeing the worlds that they create, and the minds of these people and what they're trying to put forward. So in saying that, let's just have a quick look at what's available, right? Obviously, if you're after the big ones, right? If you're after anything like in the Mortal Kombat library, MK9 and MK Arcade Collection, these games you cannot buy anymore on Steam. It'll just go to a dead page, right? Oh, well, that one doesn't, but you can't purchase it, right? But you can go to the community tab and still talk about it. You can get CD keys on Steam for it, so if you are interested in it, let me know. Hit me up on the Discord, and I will hunt them down for you so you can buy them. Otherwise, you've got MK10, MK11, and of course Mortal Kombat 1. But we're trying to avoid possibly upsetting people this Christmas, so let's look at what else is available. You can obviously go with the Tekken 8 game, which is currently out. There's a fairly sort of, 50% off discount on the base game, then 40 and 40 on Deluxe and Ultimate Edition. Those sales, that discount will probably carry through all the way through till the end of the Steam sales, which is usually the beginning of January. But if you're finding that Tekken 8 is not really rubbing the noodle, you can go into Tekken 7. Currently, there is no discount on it, so I would wait for the Steam sale starting this week, I believe, and do that. Because Tekken 7 feels more like old school Tekken than Tekken 8 does, and that's, you know, and that could be a good enough reason for you to jump back into that if you're finding Tekken 8 is a little bit disenfranchising. If you're after Street Fighter games, we have Street Fighter 6 that is obviously available on Steam, currently at a 50% discount right now, and will carry through the sales as well. You can also get Street Fighter 5. So if you did like eventually what Capcom did by finally fixing that, you can buy that now, which is pretty good, especially with the discount that they've got. And of course, you can also get the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, 30th Anniversary Collection. So if you want to play the old school arcade games of Street Fighter, you can. These are all the arcade ROMs, right? So these aren't home versions or anything. And that also means you can also get the Capcom Fighting Collection as well, which was another great collection of fighting games that they brought out too, including obviously things like Puzzle Combat as well, and also the Vampire Darkstalkers games too. So that's a pretty deep discount that you can get right there. But also my favorite of all the recent Street Fighter games, like Street Fighter 4, 5, and 6, always comes back to Ultra Street Fighter 4. Pretty deep discount right now, 87% off at $5.84. I just prefer the roster. It was an amazing roster. You know, it still hasn't been topped to this day. It gives me the roster actually gives me Alpha 3 Zero, Alpha 3 Upper, like roster vibes, meaning all those extra characters that were thrown in, which is pretty cool. And it's just superb. My favorite Street Fighter in recent, the last decade or so. So that's an amazing one. You can also get to Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I think it wasn't available for a while, but you now can purchase it. And there's also issues if you are playing it through Games Windows Live, but you can come in and purchase it. If you still find that to be a little bit too expensive, don't worry. You can just wait for a sale and just, you know, see if that's a suitable discount for you. So now moving on to obviously the only Soul Calibur game that you can get on Steam is Soul Calibur 6. It's an absolutely amazing fighting game, beautiful, gorgeous, even to this day, right? And it's currently with a massive deep discount at 90% off at $8.49. You can get deluxe at $20.31, and then of course, obviously you got the season passes that you can purchase as well. Phenomenal fighting game, superb fighting game, right? The reviews reflect it as such, so that's definitely one to keep an eye out for. If you're starting to get a little bit fatigued with some of the big ones, this is where we're starting to go down the hill in terms of like the ones that aren't at the tippy top but are still great fighting games that you can choose. You've also got the Samurai Showdown. So you've got Samurai Showdown, the one that they sort of like essentially like remake, if you will, finally came to Steam on June 2021 after being locked on Epic Game Store and then previously locked on console, right? This is an absolutely wonderful iteration of the series. They did a really great job at it. I just wish there was a couple of extra characters that they put in there, but they never did. But ultimately, you know, it's a pretty massive roster. You know, it's still got the blood, still got the ending moves, and the stages look amazing. So it's worthy of checking out. And so you could just wait for a sale on that and come through and go, yep, I might pick that up as well. Because it doesn't have an individual. It's only got like the bundle of editions that you can actually get, right? And of course, obviously I bought it all, so I can't actually, you know, I can't actually show like, you know, like normally they have the prices on the actual page. You can also get the classic collection as well, Samurai Showdown, Neo Geo collection, which is all the classic Samurai Showdown games, all the wonderful 2D versions that you can get and play back in the arcade, still with the blood and everything like that. So, and that's got a pretty deep discount at 85% off right now, which ends on offer. The offer ends on 3rd of January, which is when I'm assuming is the Steam sale for Christmas will end for this cycle. So, moving on. So yeah, we got the Mortal Kombat series, like I said. Let's check and just double check if MK11 has any deep discounts right now. It does at 90% off, 85% off for Mortal Kombat Ultimate, and then you can also get Talking! Right, you can also get Ultimate plus Injustice 2 Legendary Edition bundle for 90% off with $14.99 too. So that's a pretty good discount. It's definitely a much more sort of complete MK game over MK1. Mortal Kombat 1, again, if you really like hate your family member, you can get it for them, or your friend, or if they hate you, they might get it for you. But right now, it's got a fairly big discount that you can get too. But anyway, moving on. And of course, Mortal Kombat 10, let me just double check. Right. 75% off. Yeah, that's a pretty deep discount as well. $7.48 as well. So that's not too bad if that's in your wheelhouse. Going down a little bit further, obviously, like I mentioned, you can get Injustice 2 in the bundle, but you can obviously get Injustice 1 and Injustice 2 separately. Always check for bundles. Always check for bundles on Steam. Scroll down a bit and go, oh, I can actually get it cheaper if I get it part of this bundle, right? $5.99, massive deep dish discount, 80% off for the original, which is still pretty good. It's not bad. Fighter Injustice 2, separate as well. Let's check out the discount on that. 90% off, massive deep dish discount. So that's pretty groovy as well. So again, always check the bundles, always see what's available. Now, as far as like you got Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is fantastic on Steam. It's just recently got updated with the 10th anniversary for it, or the anniversary edition they're now calling it. 75% off deep discount at $9.98 Australian. Again, if you guys in the US, it's going to be even cheaper. You know, you're going to be saving a ton of money, right? So, King of Fighters. Let's talk about King of Fighters. They just recently announced, I did a video on it, King of Fighters 13 Global Match. That's coming out next year. You can currently get the Steam King of Fighters 13 Steam Edition, but it doesn't run the best. I can't run it on anything bigger than 2 terabyte, so it's a little bit of a pest. So if you've got a small hard drive, great, but otherwise, you know, unless they've patched it or fixed it since then, it's just awful. It's just absolutely awful. Otherwise, wait for Global Match, which will be the last 2D version of King of Fighters that you can play. You can get obviously 98, 97 Global Match. You've also get King of Fighters 2002 as well. And there might be other ones I might be missing, I'm not sure. And then of course you can get the latest one, which just recently released the last 2 characters separately. And that is King of Fighters 15 as well. So there's no discount on that yet, but I'd just probably wait for a sale if you find that too expensive as well. So just trying to see what other big ones, other big dogs we got in here. Obviously you can get Dead or Alive. The problem with Dead or Alive is that the DLC is crazy expensive, right? So while there's a free version, obviously you can get the characters. Even with discounts, like the DLC is just ridiculously expensive. It is so terrible, right? And that's the same thing for Dead or Alive 6 as well, which is probably why it tanked the series too, right? But they're still available as well. And so, as we keep going down, we're starting to get into games which aren't as big, but still noticeable. Obviously, you can get the entire Guilty Gear series as well on Steam, which is really nice. Again, always look for bundles because they might bundle some of this stuff up. 50% off discount right now. So if you want to get into the Guilty Gear series, you can either get the older ones or the new one, which is Strive, which is pretty groovy. My favorite fighting game for the last year or so has been Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. Just finished its season pass. Number 2 is coming out at some point. 50% off sale right now. Probably the best fighter. In my humble opinion, it's probably the best fighter in the last year. Tons of characters, great mechanics, both offensive and defensive maneuvers. And it is truly an amazing fighting game as well. Even the dogs are excited about it, right? So now let's look at, we got some of the Marvel or the Versus series type games. I don't know. Oh, it's a delivery person. Here we go. So you got the. I'm not cutting that out. That goes. I'm all raw here, right? I don't need no protection. Anyway, all right, babies. All right, Daddy's working. Marvel vs. Capcom Arcade Classics, which just recently came out, which is absolutely phenomenal. Like truly wonderful thing to come back in the modern era. We've also got the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 coming out next year, which is going to have my personal favorite, which is Street Fighter 03 or Alpha 3 Upper, which has all the extra characters. So that's definitely worth checking out. Let me just double check if there's a discount on that too. I know the dog. There we go, 20% discount currently at the moment. Again, if you're on PC, shop around. If you're not sure where to shop around, hit me up on Discord and I'll give you a whole bunch of links. Come here, baby. Come on. It's all right. Oh my god. Anyway, then you got these other 2 ones. You got Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? Which has got a pretty deep dish discount at 70% off right now at $11.38. So this is a really good game, like a really solid game. And then just recently it was announced apparently the mod or something that Max and other people have been working on for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That's coming out, I believe, today or tomorrow. Which is apparently going to like completely reshape the game. And this has got a massive deep dish discount. It'd be a good time to jump in if you're interested at 80% off on both of those versions. And then of course, obviously the different bundles and stuff there as well. So that's kind of worth checking out if that's if that's something you're interested in. Obviously, the issue with it is that they didn't have any X-Men characters in it, right? So normally they'd had like X-Men characters and then they stopped, right? But it has Ghost Rider, so I'm happy. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I think that's kind of the biggest ones out of the way. So let's kind of go from top to bottom now. So you've got some old classics here. You've got the Arcana Hearts series. Both 3 Love Max is on Steam. I believe these, from memory, these are assist games, right? So you've got the main roster and then you can choose like another roster of characters as assist characters. Beautiful 2D animated style fighting game. You've also got the 6 stars as well on here, Extend. So that's another one, pretty deep dish discount too for that, which is really nice. And if this is in your wheelhouse. If you like anime fighting games, you're not going to be disappointed at all. We've also got an oldie, Battle Fantasia, the revised edition that came out many years ago on 2015. But this is an old classic. You know, I played this first time back on the PS3, and it was great for it to finally come out on PC. It's kind of got like those 3D models, you know, obviously, and then in the 2D background, which has been popular with some fighters. You know, it's sort of okay size roster, very unique fighters, but it's got a real cool cyberpunk, or not cyberpunk, steampunk feel to it. And that's currently deep dish discount at 77% at $4.94, right? So that's pretty cool. Now, well, let's look at some other ones. We've got Black Clover, which looks like it's an arena-style fighting game, kind of like a Naruto game. So you're coming in kind of like off right behind the character when you're doing the fighting in this. That's a massive discount at 90% off right now. So if that's one that you're interested in, definitely check that out too. We've also got here, we've got Blade Arcus as well, which has some interesting artwork. Another 2D fighter as well, currently sitting at 75% off. Yeah, this looks good too, right? Again, I love supporting fighting games on PC. They've done there are some really good under the radar fighters that have come out that have nice little followings that are doing very well, even though like there's only 218 reviews, but very positive, which indicates that it's doing something right and people are resonating with what it's bringing out. Also got this one here, Blade Strangers 2, another 2D anime style fighting game as well. 270 mostly positive reviews too. So and that's currently sitting at 90% off, so only $2.89, and that's Australian. That's an Australian prices as well, might I add. Okay, so you've also got another really wonderful series, which is the Blazblue series, which has obviously been around for a very long time. You can also buy this in a complete bundle for $24.47. You get all of the games: Calamity Trigger, Continuum Shift, Continuum Shift Extend, Chrono Phantasma Extend, and then Central Fiction. And these are beautifully animated, wonderful anime style fighting games, and they all offer something very unique. And over the years, the roster has grown until the final one, and then eventually, what we got was a cross tag battle, Blazblue cross tag battle, which pulled characters not from its own series, but also from other fighting games out there as well, or other just normal games, right? Which was pretty groovy. So this is amazing. If you like tag battling type games, check this out. Massive deep dish discount at 75% off. Just beautiful. Just really well done, right? I know a lot of people out there don't like anime style fighting games. I do. And that's why also too, with this recent release with Blazing Strike, was kind of bringing back that style. Very fluid animation for Blazing Strike here. Looks really good. Came out in October. Currently sitting at $56.95. Again, wait for a discount if you're not sure. So yeah. So that's a really wonderful game too. And then now, if you're a fan of like I don't know, kind of like what do you call it? Like Smash Bros types games. You got Bounty Battle. Now this one is mostly sitting at mostly negative reviews, but the roster size is really big. Now sometimes, like if the game is crashing and there's glitches and all sorts of stuff like that, I can understand the reviews. But I'm pretty easygoing with fighters. I like just trying out all these fighting games, and a lot of them can have certain things that are very fun in them. I'm very critical of Mortal Kombat because I've seen how great it was to what it is now. But a lot of these other fighting games, especially if it's a first-time effort, I'm a lot more forgiving because it's like, well, it's obviously not going to be a Smash Bros, but it certainly can still be a fun fighting game for people to enjoy. Another one that's been around for quite a long time, Brawlhalla. This is a 2D Smash Bros type game that has just been, look at the amount of reviews, 378,000 reviews, like truly incredible. And they put different skins into the game as well, so they might have like the Star Wars ones they got right now. They might have, I think there's a Doom one as well. So the way it works is that if certain characters like wielding an assault gun or something like that, then they make the skin on top of that, right? So it's not a separate character. It's just they make these skins that fit those characters. I think even Lara Croft is in it as well, which is pretty cool. Another one is Brawl Out. That's another Smash Bros type game, which is pretty cool. Mostly positive at 500. Deep dish discount, $2.89, which is pretty good, right? Nice rendered 3D backgrounds. So yeah, if you like Smash Bros type games and you're like, oh geez, I wonder if they have any on PC. Oh, they do. They definitely do. It just depends which one sort of like tickles your fancy, right? And of course, don't forget, every single one of these games on any game on Steam has an associated discussion forum. So that way, if you're after people to play with, you can go in there and find people to do that. My dogs are going crazy today. I don't know why. Anyway, so we got Breakers Collection 2. This came out last year. And this is based on the old two arcade games, Breakers and Breakers Revenge. That is at a 50% discount right now. And yeah, this is definitely those old school drawn styled 2D fighters from way back. You know, like giving me like those early SNK vibes. I'm just waiting actually for a World Heroes collection. I'd love a World Heroes collection. I think that'd be amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. Okay, then you got other ones like Chaos Code, right? That again, like 207, but very positive reviews, right? So it's doing well, right? And if you like these style of games, obviously they'll tickle a fancy. You know, fairly nice sized roster as well, which is pretty groovy. Okay, so gorgeous. You know, doing very well. Arc System Works actually, yeah, they're responsible for a lot of these games that are showing up in this video. So let's see what else we got. Okay, so if anyone's a fan of Bushido Blade back in the day, this is probably the closest that we're getting to it right now, which is Die by the Blade, which is a cyberpunk insta-kill type game, meaning that you can instantly kill someone. You know, you can chop their arm off, leg off, you know, cut their head off, all sorts of stuff. That's absolutely, you know, incredible fighting game. Not for everyone, but to me, as a massive fan of Bushido Blade, this was really good to have come back. Sitting currently 25% off discount, $22.12. And yeah, no, this is a lot of fun. I actually had a lot of fun with this one, right? So these are kind of, here we go. All right, so this one recently came out too. These are Legacy, the Brazen Age. Now this kind of works, I think it was real about Fatal Fury, where you could jump in and out of the screen. So you had different layers to the fighting stage, right? So you could jump into the background and you kind of like facing off, you know, it's sort of like moving like this, which was like really cool. In this game, it's the same sort of thing. You actually, I think it's like 3 levels. So you got high, mid, and low, right? And then you've got to try and like figure out, you know, the best way and tactics, you know, to take out your opponent. Fairly okay sized roster. Currently with no discount available, but there is a demo. So always look for demos too to try and, you know, see if you can get a go of it. But it's actually a pretty decent game. Pretty well done. Pretty well done. Very wonderfully drawn. Great sound effects. Even the menu system, you're actually walking through. I think it's like a bar or something like that to select stuff, which is pretty nice. What's this one? Dimensions Versus. I don't even know if I've played this one yet. No, I haven't. You can't purchase this one anymore. By the way, if there are games like... Oh, this is a Smash Bros type game, yeah. So if there are games that you can't purchase anymore, I'm sure there are ways to find them on the high seas. Because if you can't purchase it... Right? And you want it... Right? Anyway... This is Dissidia. It's essentially a Final Fantasy type fighting game, an arena styled fighting game. Completely free to play. Obviously a big discount right now on getting access to like either characters or whatnot. And it's amazing. All your favorite, well, I think almost all the characters are in there from Final Fantasy, which is pretty cool. And if that's something that you've always wanted to see, oh, what a Final Fantasy fighting game be like, And they kind of made one back in the 90s, I think it was the 90s, which was Urgites on the PlayStation 1. So this is one to definitely check out. Again, it's free to play. You can just download it, give it a shot, and take it from there. Another one I really like is DNF Duel, which is based on Dungeon and Fighter Online, which is an MMO. And they actually decided to make a fighting game out of it. And I actually think it's really good. I know a lot of people had issues with it, but I actually really like the characters that they put in it. They're actually not given names, they're actually just given whatever their class is, which is pretty cool. My favorite character was Crusader, you know, of course. You know, big, bulky, like very slow moving character, but just hit like a truck. Beautifully animated, wonderful sound effects, beautiful stages, lots of characters. No discount at the moment, so I keep an eye out for it. See if it goes on sale this Christmas or other sales, and then, you know, just take it from there. But really fleshed out, like really fleshed out fighter, and I don't know if it'll get any further support. I hope it does, but we'll see what happens. Now, they do have a pretty good selection of Dragon Ball Fighter games, or Dragon Ball games on Steam. Obviously, Dragon Ball Fighter Z was the 2D iteration of the 3D style, which what we got coming back was Sparking Zero. And this is just for, you can see here by the reviews, currently with a big deep dish discount at 84% off, right? 64% off if you want the Legendary Edition, and it is phenomenal. I've only put a tiny amount of time into it, but the time I have put into it has been a lot of fun. Mostly, obviously, because other fighting games and other games in general just take up my time. But it's definitely, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, definitely, absolutely check this out. It's an amazing fighter. Of course, obviously, we've got Sparking Zero, which has recently come out as well. And I put a lot more time into that over than Z. And beautiful, wonderful, everything from the menus to character design, sound effects, you know, like there's like 180, I think, plus characters in the game. Like, it's just psychotic. Right? Obviously, some of them are slight variations in multiple ways, but still, that's a lot of characters. Right? You're going to have a lot of choice in here to have some fun with as well. No discount currently in the moment, so probably just wait for the sale if you find that too expensive. And then, of course, you got the Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2 games in here, which play, I believe, more like the traditional, like sort of like 3D arena style, which is pretty cool. I just want to make 100% sure. Is it going to show me some gameplay? It's not going to show me any gameplay. Oh, there we go. We kind of do, yeah. Right. But doing very well on Steam as well. So then we got this little one here, Jewel Souls, I think, which came out of nowhere back in 2021, right? Currently fairly deep discount at $5.27 at 60% off. Nice little animated fighter, right, by Stun Games. Where's the roster? There's the roster there that you can see. So not too bad for the price it's offering. And again, I really like these little fighters that come out. You know, they just come out of nowhere. It's like, oh, that seems pretty cool. We'll give that one a shot. So then we got Fight Angel. Nobody plays Fight Angel. Nobody plays this game for the combat. Right, the combat is pretty dinky. I can pretty much guarantee you why most people have bought this game, including myself. It's got a pretty deep dish discount right now at 78% off. There's also, you can either have the characters looking as like realistic or anime style. And also there's a certain mod you can access through the community forum to make it even more interesting. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? Now, there's another game, but I want to showcase this one first. Fighter's Legacy. There's a couple other games that are like this. These games are made based on like old sort of kung fu ninja movie types and or archetype type actors that have been back in the day, right? So they've got like people like Van Damme, Chuck Norris, you know, or like Ip Man, Bruce Lee, or they might have like, you know, the classic looking ninja, like you can see here, right? This is what they do. They make these classic looking characters, and they put them in here, and you can actually have computer on computer mode. so you can actually sit back and watch them fight it out, which is pretty groovy. So there's a couple more down below. Now, if anyone played the Street Fighter EX series back on the PlayStation 1 and 2, you'll remember that game. They had non-Capcom characters introduced to it. Those non-Capcom characters have actually shown up now in its own separate fighting game that came out in 2018. I really hope we get some more fighters, but I'm pretty sure that almost all of them are in there, called Fighting EX Layer by Arcana. So definitely check this out. It's currently 80% off at $11.39. Most of the DLC is just colors, except for Terry. Terry is an actual separate character you can purchase, but just amazing fighting game. They've made some like little twists to the combat as well. I won't spoil it, but it is very cool. So definitely, if you liked those particular Street Fighter games and you like those characters, then they might be on console. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this game is on console or not, but it's definitely on Steam, right? And as I've said, if you're playing these games on PC, you don't have to worry about, you know, paying extra to play the rest of the game online, right? So obviously we've done Blazblue. Now, if you're after sort of like monster fighting type stuff, we've got Gigabash. Firstly, I'll show you. There's two here first. First cut. It's just kind of like a Bushido Blade style game, but 2D pixel art. Look at the reviews. Overwhelmingly positive. Tons of stages. Excellent combat. I've done a review of this game on the channel. And it is sitting at 30% off at $9.23. So it is amazing. It's got so much atmosphere, so much love has been poured into this game. Definitely worth checking out. Don't worry, we'll get to Gigabash. Framemakers is another Smash Bros type game with some very well and recognizable characters in there like Octodad. And this is still in early access. So I'm hoping they'll eventually finish it. But so far, the reviews are still going mostly positive. And very positive, which is good news, which means that they haven't abandoned it. Usually if a game is abandoned, then the reviews will start to reflect it, to say, listen, it's been abandoned, and especially if it's been left in early access. So, $29.50, but you know, if you want to wait for a discount, probably wait for the Steam sale and see what happens, see what happens there. So Gigabash is like an old King of the Monsters style game. It's probably the most successful current day one that's out right now. And every character's got King Ghidorah in it, Godzilla, Ultraman. Amazing. You can pick up buildings, do massive blasts. You can even increase the size of your character to be like a super monster. It's just an amazing game. Like, you know, 60% discount off at the moment. There's also, yeah, the Gigabash with Godzilla DLC and Ultraman bundle that you can get as well. And it's great. Great party game. You know, great to play with, you know, friends, family. And just a labor of love. You know, truly a labor of love for anyone that's a massive King of the Monsters fan from back in the day. I think this might be, is Go All Out another Smash Bros game? I think it might be. It is. There we go. So this one's sitting at $14.50 currently at the moment. I don't know, is there a roster picture? I don't know if it's going to show me how many characters are in it. But yeah, so another Smash Bros type game that you can check out if you're interested. No demo, which is unfortunate. How many characters does it say? Does it say how many characters it's got? It doesn't say. I don't think it says. Don't think it's. Does it say how many characters? Not sure. Not sure. Unless I'm missing it. But anyway, so that's another one. Another Smash Bros type game you can check out as well. Gunya Fighter. Anyone that's played, what's it? Well, I can't think of the name. Oh, what's that name? It's like physics based. Right, anyway. Yeah, so it's all physics based, so your character's like very wonky to control. But it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's just crazy stuff. Pretty massive deep dish discount, all the way down to $1.50. Right? And you can get a whole bunch of different character skins. There's extra fighters that you can buy for it as well. And it's kind of like, it looks a little bit like Robloxy Minecraft with the stages. But yeah, I've had quite a lot of fun with this. Put 5 hours into it, play with family, and it is a pretty good game. It is a pretty good game if you want something a bit different. Yeah, and then we've got, what else is other stuff sort of sticking out for me at the moment? Hellish Court. This is actually a big one, right? So this is a very similar game to like a Bushido Blade style game. It's physics based, and it's still in early access, 30% off at $17.46, and it's kind of, I think it's like, look at the site. Yeah, it's not a bad roster actually. Yeah, it's I haven't put any time into this yet. I've got to load it up, man. So I think it's kind of like leaning to like that European-esque type fancy feel. You know, it's set in 17th century Poland, which is pretty cool. So, story mode as well. That's pretty groovy. As you can tell, it's very popular. Like very, very popular, right? I've got to try it out, man. That looks like is that an abbot? Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's another one too. And then we've got these other little ones here. Koi Hime Enbu and Koi Enbu Rai Rai Rai. Another, I think these are 2D anime. Is it 2D anime style fighters, I believe? Yeah, very positive. Yeah, they are. Yep. Developed by Unknown Games, M2 Co Limited. So, yeah, if you're a fan of anime style fighting games, there's tons here. 50% off at $3.75. You can play online. Most of these games have online anyway, right? So, and of course, you know, if you can't find people, see if you can hit people up on the forum. Get them to get online and play with you, right? This is, yep. I was going to say Smash Bros, but it's not. Right, 2.5 fighter, currently free. So you don't even have to pay. Some of those characters look kind of hideous, but whatever. Well, I don't know how many characters it's got, but anyway, that's a free-to-play fighter. So if you're strapped for cash, check it out, right? Last fight. What's this one? It's a 2v2. Okay, cool. So it's a tag fighter. Yep, tag fighter. You gonna give us some gameplay? We're just gonna flash around. We'll look at some screenshots then. There we go. Looks like it's, or maybe just 2v2. Maybe it's not a tag fighter. Maybe it's just standard, just an actual 2v2 fighter. Okay, all right. And you can't buy it. Damn. Can't buy it. If you can't buy it, you can find it in other ways. Lego Brawls is also another Smash Bros game done in Lego Universe. Tons of characters, tons of customization, loads of maps. Very well done. Very well done. Definitely worth checking out. Sitting at deep dish discount at 80% at $2.90. That's it. There's no DLC. That's it. It's just the game. Just the game. I think it's got crossplay as well. Yep, cross-platform multiplayer. Never had problems finding matches in the game. Tons of stuff to unlock. So yeah, this is just superb Smash Bros clone. So I'm just trying to see what else we've got. The Melty Blood series on here. I just saw another bizarre game. Oh, I just saw another bizarre game. All right. So you got the Melty Blood series, which I believe it's an assist fighter. So you choose your character, and then you got, I think, another roster of characters you can choose from. I think. Could be wrong. Right? I could be wrong. But you got both of them on Steam, which is pretty nice. Fairly nice sized roster available as well. There's actually a Mugen. I think there's a Mugen game I reviewed that actually has it's a modded version, so it adds in a ton of characters in the Mugen version. Then you got MGCM Kombat Edition, which is another 2D style anime fighter, which is free to play. Free to play, but you can also purchase. There's 3 characters available that you can purchase as well, which is really nice. Another good fighter, which I don't think is in. Oh, I don't think I added it. I don't think I added it. Hang on. Idol Showdown. I didn't add it. So Idol Showdown, right, is from the Hoyoverse series. It's got a, okay sized roster, Doing very well, and it's completely free to play. Completely free to play. You can play online. It is very popular. It is a very popular fighting game. It looks like it's all female. I think it's all female fighters. I think it is all female fighters. Right? I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Very popular, free to play. So definitely one to check out as well. What else we got that's standing out for me? I think I covered the Injustice 1 and 2. Kill la Kill. This is, I believe, based on the anime. So Kill la Kill IF. Pretty deep this discount, 75% off. And I think this is a 3D brawler type. So hopefully they'll show us... Show us the in-game shot. There we go. Yeah, so it's kind of like that Naruto style. You know, camera's slightly behind. And to the side style fighter. Not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad of a fighter. Bi-arc system works as well. So, now. So we have... I think I've covered those. Kings of Kung Fu. This is another one of those, I think, unique, cool games where they lean into the yesteryear of old movies, which is really awesome. And whether it be their character archetypes or based on like actors or whatever, it is pretty cool. Like I said, I usually sit here with CPU versus CPU mode and just let them duke it out. Not a bad size roster either. And it's currently sitting at 90% off at $1.45 as well, which is pretty groovy, right? So, just seeing what else we got. What else we got up in here? What's this one? Oh yeah, we've already covered that one. So you got the My Hero Academia, or My Hero 1's Justice. This is My Hero Academia series, isn't it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, All Might, yeah. So that's available, 1 and 2, 75% discount. That's available. So you can, if you're a fan of that series, you can go check it out. Now this one, Override, I don't think I added the second one. I haven't added it to my fighting game list. You can't buy the first one, but you can buy the second one, which is unfortunate. The first one's amazing. 87% off currently at the moment. The first one I think did better in reviews. But it's another massive monster mech style game where you run around big landscapes, smash buildings, and beat the absolute living piss out of each other as well, which is pretty groovy too. So, what else we got? Oh, okay, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Amazing fighting game. I remember playing Persona 4 Arena back on the PlayStation 3. Finally, we got the Ultimax edition on PC back in March in 2022. Massive roster of characters, just a superb fighting game. It's just wonderful. It's gorgeous, really well animated, and it's fantastic. 70% discount off at the moment, and yeah, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I'm a massive fan of the Persona games, particularly the fighting game Persona 4 Arena when it first came out. So also we've got Phantom Breaker Omnia. Another obscure 2D fighter, but doing very well in the reviews. Currently sitting at 75% off. There is a demo as well. And just another 2D anime style fighter. So as you can see, we're going on here, there is a gigantic amount of fighting games for almost every style of subgenre or interest that people have for fighting games if you're into it. And this is why I love fighting games. Right? I don't care if I'm not great at them. I just love the universes that they create, the characters they make, the stages, all that sort of stuff, the special effects, all that sort of thing. So that's another little obscure one. You also got Pocket Bravery, which I believe came out, 2023. Doing very well in reviews. Sitting at 20% discount right now. And they're little pocket-style characters. Let's get some gameplay so you guys can see how it looks. Inspired by Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, and the King of Fighters. So it is very cool. It is a very cool little fighter. Great host of characters as well. And it feels great. Really polished. Like really, really, really polished fighter. Like truly, truly well done. So, Another one, Power Rangers. Okay. This is a fantastic fighting game, right? I think they're missing some characters, but overall, it's a really big roster. 75% discount off at the moment. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's very cool. You can choose up to 3 characters per team and go absolutely crazy, right? You can do some insane combos. You can call in is it Megazord? Right, you got a whole host of like those big gigantic either robots or monsters that can come in and do big punches or kicks, also stomps, stuff like that. It's just, yeah, it feels like a Power Rangers game. They've done a fantastic work with it. Right, so that's one to look out for too if you're interested in it. Obviously, I think I might have covered already. They've also got all the Naruto games on Steam as well. So if you're interested in those, then definitely check them out. See if there's any bundles available. 75% off discount right now. But if you love these old Naruto games, but you want them to look really crisp and beautiful, unlike the old versions back on the old PlayStation 3, then they're worth checking out on Steam. Now I don't have All-Star Brawl 2 yet. I've got the first one, which was sort of disappointing because they didn't have voices originally for the characters. They eventually, I think, added them in. And then, of course, we got All-Star Brawl 2, which I don't have yet. But this is another, Smash Bros. Type game. And then we've got... I forget how many unique fighters I've got. We've got Nitro Plus Blaster Z, Heroines Infinite Duel. By Exceed Games, Marvelous USA. Hit crossover 2D fighter finally makes its way to PC. As you can see, quite a substantial roster size. I think it's all ladies. So if you're into waifu, this will definitely be up your alley. So yeah, currently sitting at 75% off. So a lot of these fighting games I'm showcasing right now are having some big discounts. Some really big discounts. So it's definitely worth checking out. I also got Rage of the Dragons Neo, which just recently came out, 14th of November. This is based on the old Rage of the Dragons game back in the old days. And Cubi Interactive has brought it back along with Pico Interactive. And it's a 2-on-2 fighter, right? So not simultaneous, but you choose 2 characters. And you can swap them in and out, right? So like tag fighting, right? Again, beautifully animated, really well done package. No discount at the moment, but again, wait for sales. So that's another one to look out for if you're very interested in. Also, you got an old school Retro Mania wrestling game. Right, so you get this really old school style 2D, back in the day of wrestling. Sitting at 60% off at $17.18. 17 licensed playable wrestlers with more to come, which has probably been added since then, right? Also, we're starting to get into some obscure ones here. Rise of the Arcanas. So this one, okay, never mind, you can't buy it no more, don't worry about it. But I'm sure you will be able to find it elsewhere. But you can see some imagery here with how it looks, which is pretty cool. So definitely check this out if this is something that you're interested in. What's this one? Robo-O. Oh yeah, this is a really classic old school style, like almost like a Game Boy type 2D fighter. Like an 8-bit / 16-bit style by Foxy Boxy Games. Alright, 15% off, and it's $2.50, so it's normally $2.95. And these are all in Australian prices as well. You got Rumblefish 1, so Rumblefish Plus, and then of course you have Rumblefish 2 also, that has also come out. These came out in 2023, hang on, which is pretty groovy, right? So if you like, again, these old school games that you used to play, 50% off currently at the moment, right? Then definitely check it out, right? Oh, here we go. So this is where we got Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, and then Shaolin versus Wu-Tang 2. Again, leaning into these old classic kung fu ninja style movies, right? You can see here, right? You got Jackie Chan there with like simply called Drunken Fist, right? We get ninjutsu here with just standard ninja, right? Amazing. Bruce Lee there. I think we got Ip Man there for Wing Chun, and then gorgeous stages as well. The combat's a little bit dinky, but I can forgive it, right? Also got Skullgirls too. Skullgirls is a solid fighting game, right? It is a solid fighting game. Although a certain Fox has been involved, with sitting at a deep discount at 90%. But it is a great fighting game. It is a great fighting game. There was some controversy that they did make some censorship changes to it. I don't know. I think you can patch it back in, so it's not like completely destroyed. So that's pretty good too. Slavicus, right? Slavicus was a nice little unknown fighter that came out. There is a demo. No discount, but it's $7.50. Feels like we're playing with cyber futuristic robot type, metallic warriors. Pretty big roster too, right? Pretty big roster. And again, it's just like one of these little fighters that comes out of nowhere. It's somebody's vision, and yeah, I'm there for it. Like they don't have to be top tier for it to be enjoyable. But it's pretty fun little fighter. Right? We got Slice, Dice, and Rice, which is... This is good. It's got a 92% discount right now. Right? So it's only $1.16. Okay? Where you can insta-kill people, which is pretty cool. It's kind of got like a nice little black and white-esque effect for it. This is a long video, man. But it's nice little blood and everything like that. Take their heads off and stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, definitely worth checking out. It's cheap, too, anyway. So, now we got this one. This one's a little waifu fighter. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy, right? Obviously, there's certain reasons why this game might be popular. Not a bad roster size as well. Beautifully drawn, animated sound effects. Definitely learn how to play it because it's got a unique system with its combat. And yeah, definitely check that out. They also brought back an old, I think, Neo Geo Pocket fighting game. SNK vs Capcom, the match of the millennium, right? As you can see, it's very, very like tiny characters. This is 85% off at $1.72, so definitely check that out if you're interested in. So I'm just trying to see what else we got. Oh, we've got here Strip Fighter 5 and Studios. I can't show you that one. Just know it exists and you can get it. Strip Fighter 5. Okay? Right, I'm not losing the channel over titties. I love titties, but not that much to lose the channel over. Right, you got Studio S Fighters, Climax Champions. Again, a similar style to the Neo Geo fighter I just showed you. And it looks like it's a... Is it a 2-on-2 fighter? Or just... Is it a tag team? No, it is 1-on-1, but... Okay, alright, fine, whatever. Anyway, so that's pretty good. Well, how much was that? So 60% off. Yeah, 60% off right now. That's not too bad. Okay. So now, what have we got? We've got a Taekwondo. A Taekwondo type fighter as well. Customize your character and then basically do tournament style Taekwondo. I haven't even tried this, man. That's disgraceful. 50% off at the moment. I've got to try it out, man. I used to teach this stuff. I got to see whether it's accurate. Right. So also we got this little fighter here. The Tale of Fighting Nymphs. I think I've reviewed it, but I might have deleted it so I can redo it. Right. Little fighter, very popular actually, and it's completely free to play. So you don't have to pay anything. You can pay $0, right, to try it out, right? Not a bad size roster as well. What's that? 9 fighters. So that's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all. Okay. You can also get Terradrome. For those that are big fans of the Terradrome series like myself, and the first one you can find free online. You can actually come in and buy this one. It's currently $29.50. Wait for sale if you want to. But we actually now have a true sequel, Reign of the Legends. Doing very well in reviews too. This is a really good fighter. Now, like I said, you get 2 types of fighting game fans. You get the ones that only play top tier stuff, or the AAA releases, and everything else is just dog shit. Me, I'm this guy. I am the other pool of fighters that will play those games and also play these ones as well. You also got Fighting Herds, which is a animal-styled animated fighting game, which is pretty unique. Pretty deep discount at 80% off right now, $5.79. And it's got a llama in it. That's why I bought it. I thought, shit, man, I get to beat the crap out of people with a llama. Right? I'm there for it, right? Obviously, the furries will probably like this game, but let's pretend furries don't exist. So what else we got? Oh, you got this one here. Ultimate Fighters. Oh, God, look out. Jeez, man, look at this. This is some old school. Old school. Right? It's a completely free-to-play game. Right? Look at that. Really, really, really old school. Right? What else have we got? What's this one? Oh, here we go. Ultra Fight. I don't know what it is. Ultra Fight Da. Right? Look at the roster size. Pretty big roster. Hopefully it'll eventually get finished. It's currently free to play. It's been out since 2019. So I'll have to load it up one day and see whether or not they've actually completed this. Because that would be very nice. And yeah, nice little, obviously, you know, just a little home-drawn, you know, fighting game. Right, it looks a little, I mean, I don't know if you need to take drugs to play it, but, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It's fine, right? Also got this little fighter. We've got Golden Fantasia. Umineko, Golden Fantasia. Which is 40% off currently right now. Are these extra characters? Don't know. Anyway. So, nice little 2D anime style fighting game as well. Which is pretty cool. Tag Team, actually, there you go. It's a tag team fighting game. Based on the original Umineko When They Cry series. Finally released on Steam with rollback netplay. So even these little games, even these tiny little games, making sure there's a nice roster size there. That looks great, man. That looks really good. That if you do get these games, it's going to have a good, spitting everywhere, a good online connection when you are playing them as well. I don't think I covered it. You've got the Under Night series on Steam, In Birth, EXE Late, Latte, CL-CL-R, and then of course In Birth 2, Cis Celeste as well, which is nice. So you got 3 Under Night games on there. Great roster, like really nice sized roster. And it's actually showed up in, I think it showed up in Evo as one of the games you could compete in as well. So yeah, fantastic fighter. Currently sitting at a 50% discount for the base game, 40% for the deluxe edition. So yeah, definitely check those out if you're interested as well. What's this one? Vanguard, is it Vanguard Princess? Oh, this is an old one, man. Holy shit, this came out in 2014. Currently 50% off, $3.75. Let's see if we got some gameplay. Yeah, that's great. I love your logo. Show us some fucking gameplay. There we go. Right. So nice little 2D anime style fighter. Looks a bit busty as well. Just saying, man. Just saying. Right, some of those characters looking busty. Right. And then we've got... What's this one? I don't think you can buy that one anymore. Some wrestling games. I don't have a whole bunch of wrestling games. We've also got Yata Garasu. Attack on Cataclysm. Then another little 2D anime fighter. 11 characters. And yeah. Show us some gameplay. I don't care about that shit. There we go. Right. In the old 4x3 style too. Which is pretty groovy. Right. Currently at $21.50. So good thing too is you can put all these games on your wish list. And every time a game goes on sale or releases, if it's not released yet, Steam will send you an email and let you know that they're available. Now there's a couple of dinky games I want to showcase to you guys. Oh, this one's not too bad as well. This one's not too bad. No English language supported. Currently $35.95, but it's a fighting game, so you know you'll be okay. Looks like an aerial style, combat style fighting game. So you can fly up around in the air and do crazy shit. So that'll be very unique. But there's some really there's some really unique fighters here that I want to showcase before we wrap up this very long video, right? This is Zoku Sono Higurashi versus Toho Universe 2. Right? This is... Yeah, we're going into this realm, baby, where people have been motion captured, like Mortal Kombat, except not as good. Look at the size of this roster, dude. Bro, look at this dude's face. Look at his face, man. Look at this shit. Right? Massive roster of characters. Right? All these dudes dressing up. There's probably some real shillers in here, but I don't know. Right? But these... It is crazy fun. Like they're just ridiculous, like, fighting. Like, they obviously made them with a lot of heart and a lot of fun and a lot of love, right? Because they are ridiculous. Where's the other ones? There's other ones too. There's another one, right? I gotta do a review on this. I gotta do a review on this one because, like, it's just ridiculous. Where to go? Where to go? Hang on. Here we go. So, Brief Karate Foolish is a bunch of grown-ass men, completely free to play, in their underwear, beating the piss out of each other. Right? How is this possible? You might ask. I don't know. 60 frame smooth action. Right? This is literally, if fighting game, if Dad Bod was a fighting game, this would be it, right? Very positive at 2,695. 2,695 people have said this game is at the level of very positive, at least. At this point, this thing would be more fun than Mortal Kombat 1, right? I'm pretty sure there's another one. I'm pretty sure there's another one, right? I'm pretty sure there's another one. Where is it? I'm pretty sure, or maybe I already covered it. Oh, this one here. Yeah, this one here. Here we go. Mayrin in Fists of Fire, right? So probably all the dudes that were in their underwear are now like, right, now you got to dress up as Sheilas and beat them piss out of each other, asking money for this one. $2.97 at 50% off. This is crazy, bro. Right? This is absolutely crazy. But funny. You're not buying this. Listen, I tell you what though, if they put this game at Evo, I'd piss myself laughing. I'd join. I would compete if they put one of these funny, like, fighting games at Evo. Just for the hell of it. Right? That'd be fucking hilarious, man. That'd be so funny. So funny. Anyway, guys, I think I've covered most of what I want to cover in regards to this. Suffice to say, there is a lot of choice and options out there for you guys to avoid actually hurting family members or friends at this time of giving and love by buying the Mortal Kombat 1. You can avoid that situation, if you wish, by having a look at the massive swath of games that I've just shown you on Steam. At your pleasure. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Catch you next time.